Welcome back to What's Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. You are looking at a UE-57. It's a Tier 3 French tank destroyer. It's located on the south spawn of Prokhorovka, and it's under the command of zoeballz, but I'm afraid it's a troll video because she's about to be team killed. Now, D-Tronics and Marybanks are in this game. You just saw D-Tronics move away in the MTLS 1G14, and Marybanks is in the Panzer 3J, Panzer 2J, sorry. It's the troll version of the Panzer 2. Well, Marybanks is not the troll. The troll is actually in the Panzer 1C. Well, you can see him in the background, and you've heard about him before because he has appeared in our videos before, and his name is Borovnica. Okay, so he's off in the distance there. You can just about make him out as Zoe goes over to the west side of the map. Well, Borovnica's is rushing over this direction as fast as he can. Zoe's armed with a 57mm gun, which is fairly powerful. It's capable of doing 75 alpha and 110 penetration, with the APCR that goes up to 180, which makes this one of the toughest little tank destroyers, and it's also very tiny, which means it's very difficult for the enemy to see them. And in fact, a lot of people call this the lawnmower. But you can see Borovnica's coming up behind Zoe as just she finds her firing position right on the edge of the map, and look what he does. He rams into her at high speed, flips her upright, holds her against the edge of the map so she's now vertical and she can't do anything about it, and he pushes her along as a human shield in front of him. So he's now acquired 6 feet of extra armour purely by using another player as a shield. Well, he gets to this bush and stops, and Zoe's still upright, but not for long because she's right against the edge of the map. She flips over on her side like this, and Borovnica pulls back and still using her as a shield. Now, one of the players on the team, that SU-85B, is constantly firing at the enemy. Don't know why his shells keep exploding in his breach or at his end of the map. Either that or somebody's firing at him without any result. Well, the enemy are up there because one of them has already been killed. They had a tank destroyer that was killed as well. Now, Zoe, actually, out of frustration, she couldn't shoot at anyone. She actually fired into the ground there. Now, I don't think that actually gave away her position, but she didn't get shot straight away. So she would have gone concealed, and she was in a bush at the time. So now, Borovnica is actually firing at Zoe and at the guys behind him. Here comes Marybanks, who's trying to come and rescue Zoe. They're on TeamSpeak together. And Borovnica's now firing at the enemy, and Marybanks is firing on Borovnica to try and stop him, and Borovnica's decided to push zoeballz along in front of him. Now she's on her side, and use her again as a human shield, and the closer he gets to the enemy, the more likely the enemy are going to see him. He's out in the open now, so it's not long before that M5A1 Stuart will see zoeballz and Borovnica behind him. And now Zoe's receiving fire from the enemy. And there you go, Zoe's gone. She's been killed. And Marybanks tried to stop it, but unfortunately just wasn't able to do so. And Marybanks, well, she's going to die very shortly as well. Borovnica has left the scene of the crime, and is now going elsewhere. But D-Tronics, he's actually trying to play the game properly, and he's found an MTLS 1G14, just like him. Comes up alongside him and kills him. Okay, so he's killed one of the enemy, not killed one of his own side, which is what Borovnica's done. And here we can see Borovnica headed off towards the hill. Complete waste of space. Well, anyway, D-Tronics is taking up position on the west side of the map because there's still some enemies over there, and of course he needs to protect his team from them. Some of these names may seem familiar to you. There's Fade to Black, And I believe on the enemy team there's also Dave 333, which is a name that we've heard of before. Some of the names are very familiar. There's Slimes as well of Philo. He's in the FCM 36 Pack 40. And Jamie 2006 of Philo in the Panzer S35. He's somebody who's had a video on our channel recently. But Borovnica is a troll, and he's only ever appeared on our channel as a troll. Fade to Black's in the BT7 Art. He's just a short distance behind us there. While D-Tronics is firing at that Panzer 1C on the enemy team off in the field. But while he's sitting here, that Stuart that we saw earlier suddenly appears, rushes towards him. He fires at him and rams him and flips him up and kills D-Tronics, but dies in the process because D-Tronics' wreck was resting on top of the enemy. And oh, ammo rack and Fade to Black blows up from an enemy shot. His turret flies across the ground. So everybody on the team on this side of the map is now dead. And the team has only killed 4 of the enemies. So that means there's 11 out there. Oh, it's just dropped by 1. There's now only 10 enemies out there. Is it 10 enemies? No, what am I saying? It's reduced numbers. It's not 10. There's only 7 out there at the moment. It was a reduced numbers game to start with. Well, here we see the T-28E with the F-30 gun, the 85mm gun, and there's Borovnica, still alive. He's not exactly trolling people anymore. He stopped trolling because, of course, he was only trolling Zoe because she was on live stream at the time. Now, as you may know, the T-28E with the F-30 is a premium medium with a very powerful gun at tier 4. And so, yes, it can actually take out just about every other vehicle on the battlefield if it can get into the right position. Unfortunately, though, it can't take them all out at the same time. Well, it's having a go at this Panzer 1C. And that's distracting the Panzer 1C whilst the kill goes in. Borovnica claimed the kill, actually. And that was Dave 333 of Philo, who was just wiped out. Now the enemy started capping. You can see Borovnica's still just up on the hill there. T-28E decides to go and reset the cap. And watch what happens to Borovnica at this point. He comes down from the hill, speeding, goes over a bump, and flips himself on his side. Now, isn't it a pity there isn't a teammate to actually flip him back upright again? And he gets killed by the enemy. In fact, actually, the enemy that kills him is the S35 Ferris. So yes, rather amusing that the team killer finds out in the end that he can't get turned upright because he's killed all the people who could do that for him. And one of the people capping is Jamie 2006. Unfortunately, there goes the T-28E. And the last remaining teammate is this Sav M43 up on the hill, the Petty Death or Petty Death, Little Death. Well, I've always understood that fear is the Little Death. Fear is what makes people hide and cower and not do what they're supposed to do. And of course, this little Sav M43 could go down and get a reset, but no, he fears doing that, so he's just going to hide and wait for the end, which obviously suits his name quite aptly. So I'm not going to leave this going on for much longer. I'll speed up the replay a little because he does get hit by the enemy, but all he does is hide. And yeah, I'm afraid this is going to end up as a cap out. And we'll speed that up now. Okay. So, game over. And, well, it was a trolling. It was a team killing, actually, because he pushed, Borovnica pushed Zoe over deliberately to use her as a human shield. So he intended for her to be killed in the process. Let's have a look at the end of battle results. Well, we can see Zoe didn't get any shots on the enemy. She did pick up some damage assist, actually, on the M22 Locust that was on the enemy team that was killed. But that was only because she spotted them, because she was on her side and being pushed forward at the time. And, well, no damage on the enemy at all. The Su-85B did manage to get, funnily enough, 1,044 hit points of damage. And I presume, actually, he was constantly firing, blind firing into the bushes in the north, and he must have actually hit the enemy quite a few times before he was killed. And so blind firing sometimes does apparently work. The highest score on the enemy team was Jamie 2006 in the Panzerkampfwagen S35. And, well, Zoe didn't get any damage on the enemy, any hit points or any kills, and neither did Mary Banks. And, well, if we look at D-Tronics, he did manage to get some damage on the enemy, 1 kill and 242 XP. And where's the troll? There he is, Borovnica. This is the troll you've got to watch out for. This person trolls Zoe Banks whenever she's on live stream, and he did on this occasion. Now, I'm going to hold on to this video for a while because the video, I've actually recorded the video for Klaus Kellerman to do a voiceover on the actual video, because he hasn't got the client to actually run the video himself. So I'm going to hold on to the video, this video here, and I'll put this one up if Klaus uses Zoe's video in his next Greatest Arsehole or Biggest Arsehole series. If he doesn't use it, I'll obviously put this one up straight away so that we can be aware. But Zoe has actually shown other videos showing Borovnica trolling in a very, very bad way. And so we do know that this person is a troll already. But this is further evidence that this person should not be trusted. In fact, you should not platoon with him or help him in any way. If he manages to flip his tank over, leave him like that for the rest of the game, because he's a waste of space. He shouldn't be in the game. He keeps abusing the game rules, and we should not help him in any way possible. In fact, if he happens to be on the enemy team, do your best to make sure that he has a thoroughly uncomfortable battle by being wiped out as quickly as possible. So I'm afraid that's the end of this video, and hopefully Klaus will actually feature this replay. It took place on the 13th of May. If he doesn't actually feature it, then we will put it up on our channel so that other people can be aware of what Borovnica did. Thanks for watching.